So, WrestleMania was fun. Hello, Wayne Nation, it's your boy Wayne Hall, and so I just wanted to come out and say something real quick about my original video for WrestleMania 40 Part 1. So, I had the original video made, and unfortunately, the program that I was using to edit is unfortunately having difficulties and malfunctioning problems. So, with that being said, I basically am going to be doing this on my phone. I mean, I wish I was still using a laptop because it was a really good video. Really good on part 1, but until I can get it fixed, I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long, so I'm just going to give you basically part 1 here on my phone and maybe part 2 of WrestleMania 40, which I talk about night 2 on the program with my laptop. So until we can get all that figured out, here's part 1 of WrestleMania 40. So I will break these up into 2 parts. Part 1 will be night 1, part 2 will be night 2. I do want to talk about the main event of night 1 more, since that was the most hyped up thing of night 1. So, sorry if I don't get too much into detail with these matches. I mean, there's not really a lot to get into detail about, but, I really want to talk about the main event. Not as much as night 2's main event. We'll talk about that one in part 2, but for right now, let's talk about night 1 of WrestleMania 40. So, to start off, Rhea versus Becky. I thought it was a really good match. Definitely a solid match between the two females. I wouldn't say it was steal the show, though. Not like Rhea versus Charlotte from last year's, but it was definitely a good match. I'm surprised Rhea won, though. That surprised me, because the way they played it up was Rhea's beaten everyone except Becky, so maybe she can't beat Becky, and Becky's the one. But, shockingly, Rhea won, and Mommy's still on top. So, definitely a solid match. I guess I give it a 4 stars. 4 stars out of 5. Definitely a solid match. I wouldn't say it steals the show, but it's definitely worth the watch. Alright, I have them all written down, by the way, the matches, so I don't lose track. If I missed a match, let me know, guys. Ladder match. I thought it was a really fun match. Of course, you can't have a WrestleMania without a ladder match at this point in this new era. Awesome Truth won the Raw Tag Team titles, which, right decision. Happy to see R-Truth finally get championship gold after so long. It's been a long time since he's held a championship. And I believe the other people who won was Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Not really my pick. I didn't really want to see them win, but something inside me was telling me they were going to win regardless, so yeah. All in all, it was definitely a fun match. There's not a lot to talk about. It's definitely one of your stereotypical ladder matches, but I say that as there's a lot of action, a lot of people getting close to the title and getting interrupted. Although one funny thing I did see in the match was when Grayson Waller, or Austin Theory, whichever one, tried to get the Raw Tag Team titles after they got the SmackDown ones, and they just get fucking destroyed by everybody. And then you just don't see them in the match after that. Awesome Truth won, thank God. R-Truth got his get back on the Judgment Day. And definitely a solid match. I definitely like how it is. They did split up the titles. Thank God. They split up the titles. It's no longer this undisputed tag team champions. Thank God. I was so tired of that. Now the titles can finally be on their respective brands where they belong. We don't have to deal with 2 guys holding 4 belts anymore. Thank God. It was the perfect way to do it. Perfect match to do it. Because, let's be honest here, you can't have a regular match to separate the titles at WrestleMania. I mean, it's WrestleMania, guys. But all in all, I'd give it probably 3 stars? 3 stars out of 4 or 5? I'm not going to sit here and say it was like the best match, but it was definitely a pretty solid match. Next match, Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Dominic and Santos Escobar. Or Escobar. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. I don't really know how to feel about this match. I feel like out of all the matches here, it was kind of like a bathroom match. Like you go to the bathroom and come back and you didn't really miss much. It had some spots in there, but it was still a pretty good match. It had spots, typical high-flying spots. Dom trying to cheat and interfere whenever Ray's getting some going. Andrade put on a performance. He was really good in this match. There was no Carlito heel turn, unfortunately, but I feel like that's coming down the line sooner. It's like what Triple H said, good things come to those who wait. So, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Ray won. Ray and Andrade won. That was a shock, though. I thought Santos, Escobar, and Dominic might win. I wasn't 100% on it, because again, this match, I wasn't really feeling this match as much. But I rooted for Ray, and Ray won. Thank God. So, Ray is now 2-0 at WrestleMania against his son, and in my opinion, Dominic needs to move on. This is just my opinion. Dominic needs to move on from Rey Mysterio. He's had 2 WrestleMania matches with his father and has lost twice. In my humble opinion, there's not much you can do after that. Like, you just gotta move on and stop messing with your dad. It's clearly obvious you can't beat him at this point. Alright, now the match that I unfortunately was very disappointed in. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. And Jesus Christ. This one's gonna hurt. I felt like there could have been more to this match. Story-wise, it was there. They built it up perfectly. 2 brothers, one stabbing the other in the back, one who was under the control of his cousin, and finally breaks that control and does his own thing. They had the match storyline-wise built up perfectly, and I won't lie, in the beginning of the match, it was good. It had me in, but towards the middle and the ending, it was just a super kick match at that point. It was slow, nothing was going on. I mean, sure, they tried to bring something in there story-wise with the emotion, Jimmy begging for Jey not to do it, Jey falling for it, but at the end of the day, it was just super kick after super kick after super kick after super kick. And at that point, I was like, guys, do something different. Like, I'm sorry, guys. This match was disappointing. It was for all the hype and build-up they had in this match, it was disappointing. We've seen way better brother versus brother matches. I hate to say that because Jey is a really good wrestler and Jimmy is too. They've been doing great as singles superstars. Well, mostly Jey. Jimmy, not so much. But you get my point. I genuinely feel like there could have been more to this match. But they just went into a super kick fest and that was it. Like, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like there was so much more you could have added to this match, and they didn't. Definitely the weakest match of the night, in my opinion. There just definitely could have been something done more. At this point, this should have been the bathroom match. If anything, there's in no reason should no offense to Rey Mysterio, love him. No reason should that tag match should have been better than Jimmy versus Jey. And I'll leave it at that. Next match. The women's tag team match. Not a long match. There was Naomi, Bianca, and Jade versus Damage Control, and Damage Control, as you guessed it, lost. Duh. It was not a long match. I'd say it's kind of like a bathroom match. I mean, unless you want to see Jade Cargill, or however you pronounce her last name, sorry if I'm butchering it. Unless you want to see her debut, I'd say it's not a bad debut match for her. But it's still a fun match altogether. Jade looked amazing. Bianca looked strong as always. Naomi's Naomi. I mean, what can you do? I mean, there's not really much to go into detail about this. It's your standard, typical 6-woman tag team match. But if you stuck around, it was a fun watch. But if you went to the bathroom, I don't really blame you. Sorry if I'm looking down too much. Like I said, I wrote these down. Next match, and in my opinion, match of the night. Like, it easily rivals the main event. Easily. And it's, you guessed it, Gunther versus Sammy for the Intercontinental Championship. Match of the night in my opinion. Sammy looked like an underdog, and that honestly is the perfect role for him. The ultimate underdog. And of course Gunther being Gunther made the match into a banger. I don't know what it is with Gunther. Like, there's always that one superstar where he can have a match with anybody and it's guaranteed to be a classic. Gunther knows how to make people look like a 5-star match in my opinion. Definitely future world champion. I don't think anyone thought this match was going to be good. They wanted to see Chad Gable versus Gunther, but we got Sammy versus Gunther. Everyone was overlooking this match. Well, probably not everyone, but every one of my friends was too. They didn't think it was really going to be that good of a match because it wasn't Chad Gable, but Sammy and Gunther, with Gunther taunting Sammy's wife, Sammy overcoming Gunther to hit the haluva kick and chopping him back. It was amazing. It was amazing in my opinion. Definitely rivals the main event. Sammy won. So we have a new IC champion, and Gunther's reign has finally come to an end, which I'm actually happy about, because if there was any place for Gunther to end his reign, it was WrestleMania, and now he can move on to do more and hopefully be a future world or WWE champion. But as far as I'm concerned, Gunther had no reason to win this match. He's done already what he could with the IC title. He's faced everyone, beat them all. In my humble opinion, there's not more he could have done after this, except face Brock Lesnar, but I have a feeling we're not going to see Brock Lesnar for a long time, if you catch my drift. But that's besides the point. Definitely amazing. In my opinion, I would say 5 stars. Well, not 5 stars, almost 5 stars. Maybe like a 4.5. Like, it's getting to 5 stars, but definitely an amazing match. Story-wise, amazing. So, yeah. That's all I can really say. It was an amazing match, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And now for the main event of night 1, the tag team match. Anyone who said The Rock was going to be gassed, or was not going to do a whole lot in this match, or was basically going to be too tired, you look stupid. You look stupid. You look absolutely stupid right now, because let me tell you something, The Rock was putting in work on this match. From outside the ring when they were fighting, all the way to the inside. From start of the match, it was just a really fun match. When they fought outside, when they fought around the arena or the audience, and when they got back in the ring, The Rock telling the referee to not count, and if he did, he's fired, abusing that power. Hell, the table spot. Hell, Cody hit Rock with a rock bottom. There was just so much happening that it's hard to tell you beat for beat what happened. Because at 1 minute it starts off a little slow, your standard Roman Reigns match, because Roman Reigns and The Rock are there. And of course, Roman, he likes to do things slow in the beginning of his matches, but sooner or later, it picks right up with Seth and Cody when they start get going. So of course, amazing match. I was shocked to find out it was 40 minutes long. Like, I looked on Twitter and it told me it is 40 minutes long. And I was like, that was 40 minutes? Like, it did not feel like 40 minutes. It felt like that flew. Like, sure, it felt slow in the beginning, but then it just flew. Like, it felt like towards the end, it was just flying by. The fact that that was 40 minutes was great. From a story perspective, amazing. Very amazing. It was definitely worth the watch. I want to say it's match of the night because it's the main event and because of The Rock, but Gunther and Sammy, that match was still amazing. But we're not here to talk about them. Roman and Rock won. They won the match, which means for night 2, it was going to be Bloodline Rules. Bloodline Rules means anything goes, which honestly, I'm not disappointed. What I'm disappointed in, I was kind of hoping that Cody and Seth would win, so Roman would have to have a one-on-one match with Cody with no interference, because recently, if you watched a Roman Reigns match, you know how it ends. Bloodline interferes, helps him retain. So the fact that he now has to fight Cody and he doesn't have his family holding his hand anymore we could really see how he does in a one-on-one scenario without help. But Roman and Rock won. I'm not disappointed. Hopefully night 2 isn't a finisher fest. But I've seen night 2 and it wasn't. Thank God. So night 2, it's Bloodline rules, anything goes. So yeah, that was my review for WrestleMania 40, night 1. This is part 1. I will have part 2 uploaded soon. I will get the program on my laptop going again so we have it fixed and I can take this to another level. But yeah, that was my review for WrestleMania 40, night 1. I will try to get night 2 up soon. I did this on my phone because I didn't want to waste your guys' time because, you know, it's already been days since WrestleMania 40. So if you like this review, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought was the best match. Let me know what you thought was the worst match of the night. And I will have night 2 uploaded soon. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And peace.